name's Devin, also go by Infinite, Pop by Infinite. Today, we got another tutorial. We're going to be making like a little melody for Mozzy. Some cool little piano stuff, you feel me? So, let's get straight to it. Alright, so first I'm going to lay down a chord. Just a simple little triad. You know what I mean? Then we're going to make another one. But then we're going to take these notes right here. We're going to bring them down a little bit. You know what I mean? Okay, sounds cool so far. You know what? Instead of just having it on like a bar to bar, I'm going to make it a little bit more bouncy. I'm going to bring it right here. And I'm going to bring this one right here. Bump, bump. Alright, cool. So, I mean, I think y'all know what we're going to do next. You know what I mean? Whenever you're making melodies and stuff like that, always try to add a little bit more. It makes it easier for the workflow when you kind of adding on top of it like that. Alright, so I ended up pitching it down to D sharp minor instead. I feel like with the very last note, it sounds a little too high. You know what I mean? So I ended up just pitching it down 2 semitones. Alright, so now I'm going to take these root notes right here. And I'm going to bring them an octave down. So doing things like that definitely just add a little bit more depth to the loop. I mean, we're going to do it one more time like this. We're going to bring the velocity down a little bit. Then we're going to take everything and we're going to randomize the velocities. This is just to make it a little bit more realistic, because when you're actually playing stuff, you don't play all the velocities perfectly. You know what I mean? You always kind of do a little bit of, you know what I mean? A little bit of humanization. Everything ain't perfect. You feel me? Cool, cool, cool. We're going to strum it a little bit too. Adds a little bit of flavor to the chords. Sounding good so far. We're just going to throw some effects on it now. First, always EQ. Always, always, always EQ. So I got this Q10 up from Waves. We're just going to throw a little piano preset. Sounds good so far. Now we're going to open up RC20. Personally, I'm just going to turn off the noise and the wobble because I feel like I just don't need it. We're just going to turn up that distortion, turn up a bunch of reverb. We're going to bring the EQ knob right here all the way up, because I feel like having a good amount of high-end frequencies in your piano makes it sound a little bit more real. You know what I mean? We're also going to turn off this magnetic. In all honesty, I don't know what it does. Have no idea. So we're just gonna turn it off, because if we don't know what it is, we ain't gonna use it. Alright, so I took the piano progression, I changed it up a little bit. I pitched it down 2 semitones again, just because once again, I don't know, I just felt like it was too high. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like, whenever we lay stuff down, it doesn't always have to be perfect. We can just always tweak it again a bunch of times. You know what I mean? And I also changed up the end just so we have a little bit more variation. So this is what the piano progression sounds like now. So now we're going to do is take these notes right here, copy it, and now we're going to, so now what we finna do is just take these chords right here, we're going to copy it over to another VST so we can layer it with a pad. All right, cool. We got the pad in there. Now we're going to throw in some vocals. So I like how the vocals are sitting in the mix. So we're going to try to throw a little lead on top now. Alright, so I messed around with the lead a little bit, but I wasn't really liking what I was doing before. And I wasn't really liking what I was doing after. So I just made this little part right here in the middle. And it's just going to be something just kind of like spice up the loop. Alright, and now we're going to add in some strings real quick. Like, come on. You know it ain't going to be an infinite beat without some strings in it. You know what I mean? Cool, so I laid these strings in here. Quick little hack to make them strings is you can just follow the top line for the original chord progression. Usually works 9 out of 10 times. This one's a little bit different because when you go back to the first piano progression, you'll see that this is basically the top line, all G sharp. You know what I mean? So for the first chord, instead of hitting that G sharp for the second part of the strings, I ended up changing it over to a D sharp because that's the next note in the chord. And since I used it for the chord, it's most likely going to work for the strings. And luckily it did. This is what it sounds like. Alright, now I'm finna do the bass, but before we do that, I'm gonna show y'all a quick little hack. This is like the easiest way to cut out all the low end from all your melodies at one time. We're basically just gonna make a whole mixer channel dedicated to it. So I'm gonna name this low cut send. We're going to make a little low cut on there with an EQ. You know what I mean? We're all used to this. We're just saving room for the frequencies of the bass. But here's the quick trick. You're going to highlight all of these by holding Command or Control, and you drag over all the ones you're looking to do. You know what I mean? And then you're going to right click after they're all highlighted on the one that you want to send them to the mixer channel for. So we want to send all these to the low cut send so we can cut out all the low end at one time instead of opening up a different EQ on each channel. You know what I mean? And we're going to go root to this track only. Boom. As you can see, they're all going to that channel now. And it cut out all the low end. Now that we're onto the bass, we're just going to follow the root notes of the melody, but we're just going to make little bounces. You know what I mean? We're going to make everything real bouncy. Alright, cool. Now we got that bass line laid down. I'm going to do a little bit of mixing to the whole loop, and then I'm going to show y'all it. there we go. You got a whole little melody that you could use for a Mozzy type beat, and it was really that simple. So I'm gonna play the loop one more time, and then we're gonna do our little outro. Alright, so with that being said, that concludes another video. If you like the video, then like the video. If you want to comment, throw a comment. If you want to sub, then hit a sub. You feel me? And then also, when you are leaving that comment that's on there, let me know what type of tutorial you want to see next from me, man. I'm taking all suggestions. I know the last one I just posted, someone said an MBNL one and a Blue Bucks Clan one. So expect to see those ones soon. You know what I mean? I take all suggestions. You know what I mean? So let me know. We can work something out. You feel me? My name is Devin. I also go by Infinite, Pop by Infinite. Peace out.